morning, everyone. Yeah, Jeff and I are going to give you a bit of a newsy update. Not only release, but a bit more other stuff as well. So it'll probably take 10 minutes or so. Quick update from me, and Jeff will do some more lifting around product news. I just wanted to let everybody know, if you hadn't heard, about the performance of the product in the last few years. We're particularly pleased with this, and so we will crow a little around it. The last financial year, so the one that ended September in 2021, was another fantastic year for the product. 20% increase in new sites over the previous year, which itself was 22% up on the previous year. So we're doing very well.
Logos, David. I think we're supposed to say logos now.
And the stories we're hearing around the world is from our colleagues in product marketing, product management roles, marketing, sales, etc., is this idea that customers are focusing on digitizing front office processes, partly because they had to, because nobody was in the office anymore, partly because they were recognizing they had time to invest in cleaning up data, getting processes more organized, and so on and so forth. So they're taking advantage of the whole marketing, sales, and service functionality in the product. Jeff and I, of course, continue to lovingly own and look after the roadmap, and have done since about mid-2019 in a more official capacity, building stories around what the value and the opportunity is, speaking about those along persona lines, making sure that message is carried through to those aforementioned PMs, product marketing people, sales leads, etc., in regions around the world. And of course, communicating what the roadmap is looking like, where it's heading, why we're doing what we're doing, and so on. We've just released 2022 R1, and it will be out to market shortly, thanks to Joe and the good folks in the UKI op, and the other regions are following shortly thereafter. Joe will, of course, win the race yet again. Nice one there, Kirkup. So we're working now, Jeff and I, on 2022 R2 about what we're going to do with that and how we're taking the story to market. And it is, of course, capitalizing on that tremendous success in the last couple of years, reminding people why, right, Jeff, CRM has to be more relevant than ever.
That's right. Yeah, well, 2019 was the first release within the 3-year rolling roadmap, and that was the roadmap that now extends beyond 2025. So Sage CRM, we know web-based architecture, it gives customers the freedom and flexibility to choose what's best for their business, and we don't care whether that's on premise, a private cloud implementation, on a public cloud offering, or any sort of hybrid structure. Our strategy is a focus on concentrating on enhancing the core CRM features and its capabilities for integrating with Sage accounting systems and other third-party systems. You know from the 200 experience and the X3 experience and the Intact experience that Sage CRM is intimately integrated with Sage accounting products. It has the same roadmap length as those products. Sage CRM customers using Sage 200, or in the US and around the world, Sage 300, will continue alongside newer integrations with cloud native products such as Sage Intact. Each release typically has a slightly different focus within the overall roadmap, and our aim is always to deliver more than simple incremental improvements, whether this is delivering interface or user experience improvements, pain point elimination, and or enhancing integration capabilities for third-party solutions. And so our strategy in this particular focus in the last few releases has been to make the APIs central to the Sage CRM proposition. We're working hard to make sure that beyond the powerful core features that you'd expect from a modern CRM system, we've got those APIs that are open, standards-based, free to developers and ISVs. We want our APIs to be used to integrate Sage CRM beyond the Sage Business Cloud and to become part of an ever-expanding ecosystem. Now, some of the changes in recent versions have been commercial. We relaxed the installation requirements so that the SDK setup no longer requires a development license key, and everyone can use the .NET and REST APIs. That REST API is an essential element of merging older and new style system deployment. So Sage CRM typically is deployed now, very often within a hybrid cloud environment, and increasingly businesses need to capture vast amounts of data while still pressing on with a digital transformation strategy. And that strategy, well, it's all part of Sage being committed to being a great cloud and SaaS company, and Sage CRM is part of that commitment. We want Sage CRM to be deployed in any way that our customers need. So Sage CRM integrates both directly and via ISV solutions with Sage accounting products, whether that's Sage Intacct, Sage 200, or Sage 300. These all serve the mid-market, which is Sage CRM's sweet spot. The choice of deployment, most recently in our latest version on an Azure SQL database server, is an extension of the existing support that we had for Azure. Installing Sage CRM on Azure has been an option since 2021 R1. The option to use Azure SQL database gives customers lots of new benefits. It allows customers increased freedom to install their data where they want and how they want. Customers can get the best value data storage option. Customers can take advantage of the features of the Sage Partner Cloud, or we intend that they should be able to where supported. So that will include the automatic backups and elastic sizing. So customers can move to cloud services at their own pace, and this extends the ability of Sage CRM to be deployed in the Sage Partner Cloud. Now, you know about the Sage Partner Cloud. It allows partners to become managed service providers for their customers. Sage Partner Cloud, powered by the Sage Provisioning Portal on the Azure Cloud Platform. It automates, simplifies, and reduces the time needed to get customers live. Please note that the new support for the deployment of Sage CRM on the Azure SQL database does not depend on the Sage Partner Cloud. That means that if you're using and providing for your customers managing Azure servers, you'll be able to select Azure SQL database as the deployment option. Now, along with improved options for cloud deployment, we're working on other improved security features and a continued attack on the petty annoyances that diminish the user experience. We want to ensure that the user experience is lifted up no matter what device the customer wants to use.
Lovely. Cheers, Jeff. So we thought it useful as well just to give you ever such a quick update of the release highlights since the beginning of 21, because this is an interesting sort of step forward in the last 3 releases or so, as Jeff is kind of alluding to there with the database options. Recall that our 2 releases in 21 were significant in much that they delivered more than just simple incremental improvements. We were all about, for those 21 releases, interface and experience improvements, the elimination, as Jeff noted, of pain points, and the enhancement of integration. This is what we delivered in February last year, 21, the 21 R1 release, including OAuth and extending the RESTful story, among other things. And in August last year, we released this information here that you can see on the screen with this idea we can extend the way reports work. The template selections were much better than they used to be, the configuration of quote and orders, etc. Always remember, if not obvious, that new releases give your local sales and marketing teams compelling reasons, of course, to talk to your base, talk to prospects about either upgrading or understanding, for those not yet on CRM, the value of the front office story. If you're upgrading, it's another chance, of course, to raise your C4L, your upsell for more seats, more departments, etc., as well as increasing your licensing and maintenance stories too. As we alluded to, we're now talking about 2022 R1. And Jeff, would you like to maybe just run through at a top level what we're seeing on the screen here?
Yeah, I'm sure. So we've evolved the product again to help tackle a number of things. The focus, I think, that in this release has been very much on improving the administration and deployment experiences. So we've got cost and implementation benefits. I've mentioned support for the Azure SQL database. We've also improved the experience for users or other customers who are needing to integrate with other products because of some of the REST API improvements. So there's some small but important changes there. We've added in the ability to carry out mass delete of historic communications. If you've got something that is, say, 10 years old and it's all redundant, then you can get rid of that. Improving, and that's without having to do stuff in the SQL. We've improved system administrators' lives with being able to change log locations. That means you can ship out where the logs are created, especially from a troubleshooting perspective, to a different folder. We've got the control over what the user includes in their signatures, in replies and forwards. So that's all about controlling the amount of data that's there. We've improved the way in which HTML tables are laid out within the system. We've brought the calendar and calendar list behavior we've made that more consistent with the rest of the automatic refreshes that take place, the real-time information, and also including the I think the important thing is there the display of version and license key information, which allows a system administrator to get an alert about their current support status for the version and when the Sage CRM version that they're using will go out of support and what new versions are available. Okay, well, I think that's about it. But we've added loads of material. And I noticed there was a question that came up about resources on the Partner Hub. We have been updating the Partner Hub. There should be loads of material, including short sting videos covering all of these. We've got lots of marketing resources as well created for Sage CRM.
Yeah, which neatly leads into the next piece. You will see when the UKI officially releases, you will see Partner Hub updated with lots of material, video stings included, what's new recordings, what's new PDF, things like that. It's a quick reminder as well that Jeff and I not only look after product, we're a bit of a product marketing animal set of people. I don't know. I didn't think that one before I said it out loud. But anyway, you will see coming up on the Partner Hub updates, including things like the price list. And Joe, bless her, has done a nice little update of your UKI template to make sure that CRM appears on both on the front page and also is very obviously available from the tab at the bottom. That was based on feedback from a couple of people not thinking we'd gone away. And we've also been making sure we keep up to date on partners' ISV offerings like Connect in this country, of course, to make sure that people who are trying to understand what the offer is can find the information they need, take the tour, do the demos, buy the product, etc. You will also see Partner Hub being refreshed with other sorts of things. Keep an eye on those video stings that Jeff mentioned earlier. Keep an eye too on Sage City. Jeff and I spend much of our time up there blogging, cross-posting information, both technical and commercial. The Help Center is updated right now for the new release. You will also find some updates on the community around e-learning and so forth, and other things appearing on the hub shortly. A lot of the material we're doing, Jeff and I, particularly Jeff, doing a lot of increased material on video or around video. So you'll see the Sage Customer Support and Training channel with lots of how to do this. Here's what the new feature does. Here's how to show it, as well as on the Sage CRM channel itself. You'll see a lot of stuff appearing there too. So don't forget, there's loads of good stuff to help you talk CRM to your base, to your customers. We've got lots of recorded webinars that we've done for the North American market, which are available for you to take advantage of in an on-demand format. We've also, of course, got lots of blogs out there that have been done by our colleagues around the world, so not just UKI colleagues, but American, South African, so on. And for those of you that are not familiar, the Sage CRM Talking CRM podcast is now up to about 26 episodes. We are the most frequently appearing product on the Sage Advice podcast site. There are about 15-minute nuggets where we talk to customers, partners, etc. They're very useful for your own benefit and also useful if you'd like to share them with customers who are maybe trying to get a grip on what CRM might do for them. So it's all about helping you, putting your business on a path to growth and helping your customers do the same. So we'll leave you with that. I'll hand back to Glenn and just remind you all of you on the call to think about what your plans are to take advantage of the 20% growth we've seen in the last 2 years. Thanks, everyone.